Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Same Bet. Here it is, the middle of July. Casinos have started to open, craps tables are open, and people are starting to play. One of the things that I'm hearing a lot about is losing a lot of money while the wait for the dice to come all the way back around to yourself. Well, there's a couple of strategies that you can play, and tonight we're going to roll two of them against each other. One of them, the One Hit Can't Miss. The other, 22 inside. Simple strategies and designed to keep you in the game for a little bit longer. Let's see which one either loses more money or does anything actually make any money. All right. Yeah, so what we're hearing now is some of the casinos are really starting to open up and the craps tables are opening up with them, but with lower capacity. So you may only have 3 people at each end of the table where used to you'd have 5 and in some cases maybe even 6 people on each side. So in order to make money, the casinos have had to they've had to increase the table minimums that you play. So where you might have had a $10 table in the past, now you have a $15 or maybe even a $25 table. And if you had a $25 table in the past, maybe it's a $50 table now. But the short is the table minimums have gone up, but your bankroll might not have. So you might want to be a little bit more conservative betting on other players. And there are options. There's a lot of different strategies out there. You can just place the 6 and the 8. You can do a pass line only. You can do a don't pass only. You can do a don't pass and a place bet to kind of, cancel each other out, hedge each other out. But a couple of my favorites is the 22 inside and the One Hit Can't Miss. Now the 22 inside, it's been a staple of mine since the very beginning. I think that's the very first video I ever watched on strategy was on the 22 inside by Color Up. And that's been several years now. But as I started to learn a little bit more, do a little bit of research, I came across a strategy called the One Hit Can't Miss. I learned about it on Steve Haltom. You might know him better as Heavy. Heavy Haltom's Axis Power Craps forum and his Facebook pages. He has a friend out there called Shoot It All that actually came up with this particular strategy. And it's very simple. It's a don't pass followed by placing the 6 and the 8. And we'll go into that a little bit more as we start watching the video here. And so yeah, those are two strategies that I used to play quite a bit when waiting for the dice to come back around to me. Now, they both have advantages and disadvantages, and I'm not going to go too deep into those other than to say every strategy has a strength and every strategy has a weakness. Now, I'll leave it up to you to kind of figure some of those out. All right, so let's take a look at the table. So on this side, the overhead shot, I have got the One Hit Can't Miss. On the long shot, I've got the 22 inside. I'm not doing a pass or don't pass on the 22 inside. Remember, this is a strategy meant to wait for the dice to come back around to you. But the don't pass is essential on the One Hit Can't Miss, so I have to play that one. So if you don't see a pass or don't pass, don't worry about it. It's because I'm not meant to be the shooter. I guess a little other maintenance here. You'll see the video's going pretty fast. I wanted to show $200 worth of play. And in order to do that, the video went close to 55 minutes long, and that's just too long. So I wanted the transparency, so I sped up the video. That way you can still see every single shot. You know what happens. I'm not manipulating anything, but still make it in a consumable time frame. All right, so it looks like we just maybe had a come out roll. I'm sorry, I missed it. It looks like the point is an 8. Here I'm setting up the $22 inside. On the other side, I've already got the don't pass and the 6 and the 8 placed. I'm doing the 3V set right now, and that's what I'm experimenting a little bit. I'm experimenting with several different things. I'm experimenting with the dice set. I've got a different camera with a different angle that I'm playing around with. And just kind of shooting the dice, having a little fun with it. So we're just going to see how well we do. If we're going to make any money, we're going to lose any money, and just see which one happens to do better. Both sides starting with $200 bankroll, both betting on the same bets, both playing a system. All right, so it looks like we sevened out on that one. Now, let me talk about the one hit can't miss for just a second. So, the one hit can't miss. You have to start with a $5 or with a minimum bet on the don't pass. It doesn't have to be minimum. You can bet whatever you want, whatever your bankroll allows. But for this scenario, it's $5. All right, looks like we set the point to the 9, and we go in the 6 and the 8. Now, there's a couple of different things that could happen right here. If I happen to roll a 7 or an 11, what I would normally do is I would take that bet down. I mean, I wouldn't put that bet back up. That's the most I would lose on a shooter. Okay, so that's what I mean by it's designed to help keep you in the game and minimize your losses. But you're in the game in case there is a good hot shooter. You could still you could keep going. Same way. Let's say let's see here. My point is a 9 right now. What if I roll a 9 and lose that don't pass? Same scenario. I would take my bets down. All right. We can see it there. The 3V, 3, 2, 3, 6 is the dice set. Dice are out. And snake eyes. And you can see I'm playing around with a different camera angle than I normally use. I put my brand new GoPro down at the end to capture the screenshots. And I do have some technical difficulties with it. The GoPro frames per second is different than the other cameras that I was using. And you'll see as we go along, the longer the video goes, I have to switch my angles faster because they're out of sync. And out of sync even by a second really makes a big difference. All right, so we're on the one hit can't miss. We just rolled an 8, so we got $7, which means we are going to break even on that one no matter what. One hit can't miss. 3, 2, 3, 6. And we rolled a 6. All right, we're actually going to make money on that particular shooter. And that's what I mean. You get a hot shooter without hitting your point, and that's essential. Don't hit your point. But if you have a hot shooter that's rolling a lot of 6 and 8s, you can press it up, or you can press it out, or you can just keep collecting it. So you're in the game. You know, a couple of the other strategies, or at least one other that I'm thinking of that's a popular one, is the 5 count. You know, if you're waiting 5 rolls before you put your first bet out there, you don't have a lot of action going on. So it will save you money, to be sure. It will save you some money. But I like having a little bit of action. I like risking a little bit of money because I'm not the best shooter at the table. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 3, 6 is the set. 7. All right. So here we're going to lose all those place bets, but we're going to win $5 on that don't pass. So we actually made a little bit of money there. All right, put another $5 out on the don't pass, pulled down the $22 from the inside, and we're going to set a new point. I changed my dice sets. Look at that. I'm at 5, 4, 5, 4. I'm a hard way set right now. And it's a 9. We're going to set the point to the 9. All right, place my 6 and 8. And again, I'm doing this at a $5 table. You can scale it up to whatever table you have. If it's a $15 table, you got a $15 don't pass, along with an $18 6 and $18 8. And the 7 came early. All right, so we didn't get our one hit, so we're going to lose just a little bit of money, but we're not going to lose a lot because we won on that don't pass. So what would that be? I would lose $7. All right, change the dice set again. Now I'm doing the all 7 set. Hard 10. All right, so we've got a hard 10 on the come out. Place the 6 and the 8. Oh, got to get some change real quick. And place the $22 inside. $10 is the point, all 7 set, and a yo, 6-5 yo. No money on either side, so we just bring the dice back, shoot them again. Now, I gotta say, I like this all 7 set. You know, there are people that that fear the dice when they have a 7, but in my mind, you have to be spot on perfect to get a 7, and you're spot on perfect a little bit more often than you might think. But if the dice rotates off axis, just grab some dice. So you got the all 7s, 5, 4, 2, 3. Okay, so you got 7s all the way around, right? Just one die goes that way, then you've reduced your number of possible 7s. Okay, or let's see here, 5, 4, 2, 3. One. What am I trying to say? One goes forward or backwards, or inside or outside. If all you need is one of them to go off kilter some way, and you've protected yourself from the 7. All right, looks like I'm starting to press some money up. All right, we just rolled a 6. Yeah, okay, so here on the One Hit Can't Miss, we've already pressed it up to the 5. We just won another $7, and it looks like I'm going to rack that. Smart move. Over here, we're going to win another $7. I'm going to push it up. So I've got the 6 and the 8 pushed up to $12 each. Snake eyes. No money in the field. All right, so we're just going to pick them up and roll them again. Oop, there's a 6. All right, so we're going to win another $7. I'm going to spread it out to the 9. So now I've got $22 inside, just like the starting bet that I had just a moment ago. But all I had at risk in the beginning was $17. $5 on the don't pass, $6 on the 6, $6 on the 8. And there's the point. Okay, so here's a great example. So I just lost my don't pass. Now what I would do is I will pull down all of the rest of that money and rack it. I'm going to lock it in because I've lost the money that I was willing to risk on a shooter. Now that shooter could go for another 10, 15 rolls. You don't know. But more often than not, it's going to be a short roll. You didn't lose out on too much, and you've just protected your bank. All right, so we've set a new point. Point's the 8, and we're only playing on the 22 inside numbers right now. There's a yo. No money on the yo. Eight. All right, 8 came easy. All right, so that was the point. I don't have a pass line or don't pass line, so I'm still relying on another shooter for this particular bet. But we just did win $14, and I spread it out to the 4 and the 9, or 4 and the 10. So I am 32. I'm all the way across, a little bit more than 32 because I pushed up with some numbers. All right, so points going to the 6. And this is where the One Hit Can't Miss starts to get irritating because you think, okay, I could have won 3 or 4 more numbers. You could have just as easily lost. Remember, this is about protecting your bankroll, not risking your bankroll. There's the 7. Okay, so now we're going to lose everything on the 22 inside. All comes down. All right, so we started out with $200 bankroll. Like I said, I want to go through at least the $200. Had my 5 on the don't pass. I remember this. I actually make a mistake here. I broke my own rule. I just bet on after losing on a come out roll. What can I say? I'm not perfect. All right, so we set the point to a 5. Place the 6 and the 8. Put my $22 across, and we start this game all over again. Doing well with that all 7 sets, so we're going to keep it up. We got a yo, no money on either side. Pass out. Another yo, back-to-back yos. The 8 came easy. All right, so awesome. We're not gonna we're going to break even here at the minimum on the one hit can't miss. Collect our $7 on both sides. Set the dice up. Let them go. 9. Okay, nothing happens on the one hit can't miss, but we're going to win another $7 on the 22 inside. Now, that's one of the things that I do like about the 22 inside is you are going to get a lot of action on that one. The one hit can't miss, it can be a little boring and a little dull at times, but 22 inside, you're frequently going to win some money. I couldn't tell you what the percentages are off the top of my head. All right, so I think I just must have hit my point. Yep, I hit the point, so I locked in my profit. I'm not going to risk any more of it. I'm just going to take it down and let the shooter do his thing. There's a 3-1-4. No money on the 4. Oh, point goes to the 4. 5. No field 5. We do have money on it, so this is what I'm saying. So we're going to collect some money, and the one hit can't miss person is probably looking over there thinking, man, I should be in this game. Yeah, especially because it just rolled an 8. Would have lost. I would have won another $7. But really cannot think that way. The one hit can't miss. It's all about preservation. Hard 10. And I actually have some money out there on the 10, so we're going to collect $9 for that, or 10 for 1. And a 4. 4 came easy. And that looks like, yeah, that was a frontline winner as well. So if I'd have gone back up with another $5 in the don't pass, I would have lost another $5. Snake eyes on the come out. But I would turn around and win right there. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the way I play it is I only risk one don't pass. If I lose that don't pass, I'm out. That my action is off till the next shooter. You could do whatever you want. 6. No money out there on the 6. 22 inside does collect $7, so we're going to press it up to $12. So we've got our 12, our 6 and our 8 both pressed to $12. Roll to 9. All right, now we're going several rolls in where we're collecting money on that 22 inside. $10. Yeah, I still have money on the 10, so we're going to collect another 10 for 1. Press it over to the 4, so I am all the way across. But there comes the 7. So we're going to lose everything that we have on the 22 inside. All right, so let's rack it all up. Put $5 out on the don't pass. Here we go again. This is a new shooter. Come out, roll. 10. Easy 10. Points of 10. Okay. Set up our 6 and 8. And set up our $22 inside. Dice are moving. 8. All right, so that's awesome. So we're going to win $7 on the one hit can't miss and $7 on 22 inside. Just rack them both. Yo 11. Nothing happens at all. $10, frontline winner, except for playing one hit can't miss. So I'd bring it down, lock in my 6 and 8. Not going to risk any more money. All right, this is a come out roll. Come out 7. Was not working, so it doesn't hurt me. And glad I didn't go back up on the one hit can't miss. Again, there I would have lost again. But I would have won right there. Definitely an argument could be made to keep playing. If your bankroll supports it, go for it. 5. Points going to the 5. So remember my rules. I'm not up on the one hit can't miss side, so I'm just doing the 22 inside. All right, there's the 8. We're going to collect $7 on that, or are we going to push it? Oh, we collected it. Okay. And a 5. Frontline winner. That's another $7. And I think this is one of the reasons that I like the 22 inside so much, is that you do get quite a bit of action. There's a hard 4. No money on that 4 right now. Points the 4. Dice out. 3, 2, 5. Yeah, it's collecting $7 at a time. And it's another 5. And I pushed the 5 this time. A lot of times I press the inside numbers, the 6s and the 8s. But another thing that I'm trying to do now is pay attention to what's actually rolling and increase that one, increase that number. All right, there it is, 617. Everything comes back down. $5 on the don't pass, and I believe this is going to be. I might have one more shooter after this one. I can't tell. All right, so the points go into the 6. Now, again, here's another option that you have. So when your don't pass is the 6 or the 8, what do? You could play the 6 and the 8, or you can play maybe the 5 and the 8. It's up to you. I just like having 2 numbers out there. There's a 10. I wish I had access to shoot it all. I would ask him what he would do. I don't really know. And there's a 5, 2, 7. Okay, so we didn't win anything on that one, but we got paid on the don't pass. The other side, we lose it all. So all those times that we were collecting money a minute ago, we didn't collect anything, and it all came down. Oh, looks like we're coloring it up. Okay, so I sped it up even a little bit more. Let's see what we've got here. Remember, I started with a $200 buy-in, and I'm just sort of coloring up some of the numbers, cleaning up the chips, and see what we end up with. A lot of white. So even though I was winning a lot of hands, look at all those white chips. All right, there's 100. There's 175. Is there 175, 85, 95, 196? I'll have to look at it again. I can't tell. I lost money on that. I know that. So there's 200 and 1. I made $1 on the one hit can't miss. Now, on the other side, the 22 inside, it did lose a little bit of money. I can't remember exactly what it was, maybe $10, $15. So it wasn't a bad strategy. It did keep me in the game, and it did have a lot of action, but it didn't win. Or it didn't win for sure, and it did lose more money than the one hit can't miss. The one hit can't miss, like I said, it could have been a little bit boring, but at the end of the day, it lost less money, and in fact, it actually made $1 on all of these crazy shoots. All right, so that's it for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. And if you liked what you saw, be sure to subscribe.